Cool kids, I got a video today. Oh yeah. What I've been waiting to bring to you for many months now, as this Kickstarter has been somewhat late. Not as bad as some of the other Kickstarters I backed, looking at you, Peterson Games, but definitely a little late, especially considering that this company already did their second Kickstarter after a smashingly successful first Kickstarter. And that Kickstarter just ended 2 or 3 days ago. Not nearly as smashing a success because a lot of people were saying I want to see the first Kickstarter's models before I choose whether or not to back the second Kickstarter. And of course, I just got this today, so there's that. But I did in fact back it. Because, as you guys know, I'm ever an optimist. And I really had high hopes for this Kickstarter because I was one of the first people, if not the first person, to make a video about it when it was running. So I'm going to cut this box open. Now, well, before I cut it open, I want you guys to see this box. This is the all-in times 2, so 2 sets. But the reason I want to show you this is look how small this box is. Now, I've shown you other boxes, other Kickstarter boxes. This cost me $176 plus shipping. Okay, so I can go downstairs and grab a similar valued box from one of my Reaper but anyway, I'm not going to do that. I'm eternally optimistic, but early reports are that these minis are small, and we're going to find out. And what I'm going to do to be as fair and impartial as possible is I might assemble a couple of these and compare them to other similar creatures from other brands, and maybe we'll talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly here. Alright, so I do have 2 boxes. Now, the boxes are nice. I'm going to say that. So 2 boxes of minis that are about twice the size of a add-on from Reaper, but half the size. Well, I don't know if that's a fair characterization. Let's be fair about it. I will go grab a core box from Reaper, the most recent one. I'll be right back. Now, I'm not saying this is an exact comparison because obviously Yvonne, you gotta move a little bit. You okay? Yeah. Squeak. There you go, honey. Get back. Resume. Yeah, obviously Reaper's more established, and golly knows how many miniatures are in the core set of this Kickstarter. Maybe it's over 150. 150. Well, that's actually a pretty apt comparison, isn't it? Yeah, because Next Level Miniatures box supposed to have a similar number of minis in it. But as you can see, they aren't the same size. Not saying they have to be. But also keep in mind that all the minis in the Reaper set there are unassembled, or most of them. There are exceptions. Okay, so right off the bat, this is kind of spooky, right? A little bit spooky. Alright, but anyway, we'll check it out. We'll see what's inside. I'm only going to open one of my core sets. So, there's that. Here we go. Let's do this, guys. We're 5 minutes in. let's look at what we're working with. The box is very nice. Very nice box. Ooh, look here. The web store's open. If you want to check out their web store, just go right there. They did say they're fixing the scale on the minis. That was part of an official announcement. So there you go. And this all looks professional. So I like that. They have a good printing company working on their side. So good use of the advertising budget. I like that. I like the box. The box is nice. Okay. Now, the miniatures are unassembled. And I can tell you right now that I grabbed the wrong box here, because this takes away any question. Oh wow, these are not usable. Okay, I grabbed the perfectly right box to prove one way or the other, didn't I? Now, okay, yeah, this is a cultist. It's in one piece, so we'll start with this. All right, this is supposed to be a human. Okay. And I'm going to compare it to another female, say in a cloak, in the same scale. And you know what? We'll just. Yeah, hold that thought. All right, guys. So yeah, these are not 28 millimeter. I can tell you that right now. I'm gonna zoom in here, and you're gonna tell me the problem. Okay, this is our female cultist, and next to her are 25 millimeter old Rel, Partha, and Citadel minis. These minis are legit old school metal minis that I have sitting around that I don't use. Why don't I use them? Well, they're in a different scale, which, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with the scale these are in. Okay. I would finish painting them, but I really have no need to. Yeah. Because they're really not especially useful to me. Unless I needed a bunch of ninjas. Alright. As you can see, this female cultist is about as tall as this priest. And I should put this on a base. I'm gonna glue it to a penny or something. Hold on, so we can really look at this. The other big complaint about this Kickstarter was there was assembly required, which doesn't bother an old timer like me. Eva, you gotta move, honey. I know, it's terrible. We're doing in-depth stuff here. In-depth. Alright, so, a little bit of assembly is required. And that is not pleasing to noobs, which is fine. I don't know that they said that you would have to assemble the models, but I don't mind assembly. Same people complained when Reaper did the same thing. And I didn't complain about that because I like it. I prefer to assemble my own models, actually. Get better fits. Because now you can see very quickly the problem here. And I'm going to actually pull something out that really brings the point home. Let me get something, yep, we'll really bring the point home here. This is completely out of bounds. All right, cool kids, check it out. This is our mini from Next Level Miniatures. Okay. That out a little more. Okay, that's our mini from Next Level Miniatures. Now this mini right here is from WizKids. Okay, that is a WizKids female elf. Okay. You're going to see the problem real quick here. Okay. Now, you see these grid squares? Yeah. 1-inch squares. I put it on a 1-inch base, even though it should be on a smaller base. It should be on a 3/4 inch base. But let me show you what the problem here is. This is a bugbear, or no, hobgoblin. Sorry, male. Okay. Now you see how this hobgoblin stands about as tall above that female elf as you would expect a male to stand over a female, right? Several inches, but not, he doesn't have to tower over, right? Now we're going to switch this up. Now, unless that is a pygmy from, in your world, they don't, but a pygmy, right? That doesn't work. That's not a human. Could it be a gnome? A tall gnome. It's kind of in between. But we're going to demonstrate this further. Here are those 25 millimeter minis. Again, I'll remove the 28 heroics, and I'm going to go to the 25 millimeter scale. And if you look, we don't need 2 ninjas. She fits in pretty well. Now keep in mind she's on the base. If I take her off the base, right, she's going to be looking eye to eye with some of these dudes. And some of these dudes are going to tower over her. Right? And so she's really look at this. Yeah. She's really in a kind of an off scale sort of 25 millimeter world here. So here's a wizard next to her. Right? That's about, what you'd expect, right? Here's a young elf or human barbarian. Again, no extra base. So she's a little bigger, but not a lot bigger. Okay, here's a knight. 25 millimeter knight. As you can see, they're kind of in the same scale. Like I said, she might be a little bigger, but not really. Not enough to matter. Okay. And she fits right in there. She doesn't necessarily draw too much attention to herself, right? But watch this. I put in these two. See the difference? This clearly could not have been. You can't even pretend this miniature's in 28 millimeter scale. You just can't do it. It's I don't know. Not the industry standard. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that it. Maybe it's. I don't think she's a lot bigger than this guy, and I know he's in 25 millimeter. All right, here we go. Let's look at the base of this thing. Tells you what it is. See that? Not so much this one. Some of them say Ral Partha on them. All right. So if I was playing in this scale, I'd be fine with these models. So far. That's just one model. Oh my goodness. All right. So, but then look at this. Here's a goblin. Right? Here's a skeleton. Well, let's see how that works. So this skeleton, everybody was complaining about it. It's a little short, but it's in an action pose. I think the skeleton, it is small, but it's probably usable, maybe. I think that might be usable. I might be able to use that. So I'm not mad about that. Because skeletons, you know, whatever. They're backdrops. It's, you know, they're a little small, but they're not. Here, look at this. Look at the difference in size. Also, can we pick which end to leave the sprues on here, guys? That's okay. I can clean it up. So, see, this is kind of... Yeah, the skeleton's smaller than I thought it was. I can probably make skeletons work, because skeletons, you know, they don't have any meat. And like I said, if this guy was standing straight up, he'd probably be quite a bit taller than her. So the skeleton's not so bad. Alright, the goblin. I mean, the goblin's fine. That's what a goblin should look like. If I put that goblin next to our 28mm models, right? Yeah, hobgoblin, goblin. This is Reaper, by the way. That tracks, right? That about tracks, so that I have no problem with the goblin. Goblin's good. This little elf hanging out with a goblin, right? I have no problem with that. That's fine. This elf and this woman, on the other hand, uh-oh, toasted, right? That's not even, they're not even in the same ballpark in size, scale, and oh my goodness. All right, so I don't mind this so much. I'm going to tell you why. This gargoyle is tiny, but I'm always on the lookout for Spinnigans. Even compared to her, the gargoyle's tiny, right? It's tiny. It's a tiny gargoyle. Itty bitty gargoyle. But I don't mind that, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm always on the lookout for Spinnigan devils. It's hard to find a good model for a Spinnigan devil, and I think that works pretty well for a Spinnigan devil, so I don't mind that. Yeah, that's a pretty good model. I like, and oh, I don't want to be all dickish about this. The sculpt's pretty good. There's some cleanup that needs to be done, but the sculpt's pretty good. Now this is going to be part one. I'm not going to go on and on about this one bag. This is one bag. We've only opened one bag of mini. It looks to me so far, and maybe my mind will change as we go through these. Oh, here's a kobold. The kobold looks good to go. And you never have too many good kobold minis, so I like that. Yeah, there's a kobold. So the kobold's fine. If not a little big, really. But it's fine. A little cleanup there on the feet, but don't mind that either. I like the detail. Someone said these were really brittle. Let's test that real quick. No, the foot's not breaking off. No, the spear's not breaking off. I mean, I'm not going to be unreasonable about it, but it seems to be working. Yeah. Focus, damn you. Focus. All right. So, I don't know. I don't think the durability issues are quite as bad as advertised. I like the goblins. There's several of them in here. And we'll look at that more in depth maybe in another video. I like the gargoyles as Spinnigan devils. You can never get enough Spinnigan devils. If you're ever doing anything in, to do with Baitor or Hell, I guess. Hell. They kind of got away from that when I got into D&D because it was so, controversial. Anyway, find all the collectibles of your dreams while you're awake, and I'm going to do a part 2. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.